So let me get back to that. So the scenarios that could play out is price could come up into this area, reject this area, and then come back down just like it did over here, and then maybe consolidate and then push up higher low, boom, boom, potentially, or price could potentially come up into this area, come down, create a higher low, then keep up. Price could get here and just keep on breaking above and then create a higher low there. So those are like the scenarios that I'll be looking at this resistance range. At this area of no, at this area of support, if price does break below, what could happen is potentially the same thing over here, which is an overlap. Price could break below and then break back above, retest, and then keep on going higher. Price could break below, retest it, and then continue to keep going lower, or price could just keep breaking below without retesting it, or just keep breaking below, quick lower high, and keep on dropping. Or price could come back down into this area again, create another double bottom, and then go up. So those are the scenarios that I'm looking at. I see on a 1 minute time frame, like just looking at it on a 5 minute time frame, I can already tell it created a higher low on a 1 minute time frame, but that's a 1 minute time frame. Like you can already see the structure shifting here on the 1 minute time frame. Price created the double bottom, then it came up, created this higher low, like you can see on a 1 minute time frame, but this is still a 1 minute time frame. Like price, there's no guarantee that price is going to finish this. So for me, I really want to focus a lot more on the bigger time frames, such as the 15 minute, such as the definitely the 30 minute. I definitely want to see how like the 30 minute closes in the next 18 minutes. So for me, I'm more focused on bigger time frames right now with this specific setup, especially the 4 hour time frame as well, 1 hour time frame. But really just gonna focus on 30 minute, really 30 minute, 15 minute here in order for me to look for another opportunity to scale into this position on go. Like I already have positions already. I want a better opportunity, like an actual higher low to scale in more into um this current position. Well, this current position with the trades that I have now. So see what happens here in like 20 minutes. But this rally on gold yesterday was beautiful. The between yesterday, Sunday, and Monday was just beautifully. It was just amazing. I was able to catch. When did I get in? I got in as soon as the market opened. Yeah, I got in as soon as the market opened. I caught this, and I still held positions. I caught majority of this. I didn't catch this because I wasn't trading gold. Silver had a better setup, so I started trading silver for half of the day. And then gold gave me another setup, and I got back in gold and like flowed with the move all the like this push all the way up or something like that. But on silver, I remember it was this setup on silver. Yeah, it was this setup because I was seeing these higher lows, this ascending triangle that was forming right here when price was creating these highs. It wasn't creating those clear cut, and I ended up getting in somewhere around here. And then I remember when the market reset, I ended up moving my stop loss into profit. I didn't catch all of this. The only difference with silver is like the spread is like depending on the time, the spread is yeah. Because on TradingView, it looks like this. The spread is like on point. But for me, if I were to enter right now on Trade Locker, the spread would have put me in like right there. So that's what happened with this position. I got in like somewhere down here, somewhere here, and then the spread put me in a little bit higher, and then I was scaling in and I moved my stop loss. And I ended up moving my stop loss like right here in profit. But when the market reset, the spread like actually widened down, and then ended up stopping me out, even though like they never came down to here. The spread stopped me out of this position. And I just got back in on gold. I think at around like 7:30-ish. I remember getting another position on gold on like I think it was like 7:30 ish. I think yeah, somewhere right here when price created like a higher low and it came up, created a higher high, higher low, scaled in, higher high, higher low, scaled in, higher high, higher low. I didn't scale in here. I was just trailing my, excuse me, I was just trailing my stop loss here, and then price got up to this point, and I remember having four positions. I had moved. Three of my positions, the stop loss to below like this wick, and those three positions ended up getting stopped out. Then the other position, I trailed my stop loss like here, price came down here, and I trailed it like to here, and then that position ended up getting stopped out. After this drop, I did I trade last night? Hold on, let me see. I don't think I traded after. I think yeah, after that, I think I just stopped. Yeah, after that, I stopped trading. And then now we're here with Go. Go came down here. I ended up taking positions like all throughout this range here. And I had my stop loss below this area here. So it's a pretty good longer term like type of a TP. Like this is like the minor, the first one, definitely the highs as well. So these are like my two major TPs, like TP for this minor when it got hit. So now all I'm simply going to do is wait for to see one of the like three or four scenarios I just gave. Price to either keep on breaking above, come above, or price to reject this area, create this lower high, come back down to create a potential double bottom. Or what could happen is this could just be low, lower high, and then price actually does continue to keep breaking lower and then continue this counter trend until it actually shifts that structure and go bullish there. So that's another scenario for like a steeper retracement. So let's see what happens on gold here. Looking pretty clean. Definitely going to be a pretty uh interesting day in the market. I told you guys like market close does not matter. Sundays does not matter. Market close Sunday, it doesn't matter. Look at what happened Sunday. Price shots up. And then on Monday, when it was a bank holiday, the banks are closed. I mean, the government already shut down, but this big push up, boom, price went all the way up. Nothing but profit. And then I don't know if you guys have seen or heard about the whole Bitcoin thing, and what happened with Bitcoin. Like it's man, this is just nothing is new under the sun. Price literally is just rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. So I showed you guys the video. I think I did a video, whatever. But I did end up catching that Bitcoin trade like all the way up until like something, and then I ended up trailing it and ended up getting stopped out later. But this whole situation that happened Friday, like literally it's sad. It really does suck because somebody even took their own life. Like somebody even took their own life because of what happened with Bitcoin. Like it was crazy. I'm quite sure there's more people that have done it um that didn't like it's not like reported and stuff, but it was like if I just go to this article, it was like major volatility after market crash dropping over 14%. That's nothing to us as traders. Like price dropping 14% to us as trader. Like we see, like you guys see gold, you guys see Nas. Like Nas, we get NFP every day. Like indices, you get in. I mean, at this point, gold, you get NFP every day too. But like with indices, like you get those moves every single day. That's nothing. Like what Bitcoin did is just a regular day trading US 30 or trading Nas or SPX. It's just a regular day. But the thing is because of how fast it happened and how much it happened, even though Bitcoin already dropped well more than 14%, this move right here that happened, like right here, from here to here, just look at the percentages was. This right here was basically 10%. It took some time, but that was 10%. This had a much bigger retracement and price coming down to here. This was 22%. Yeah, it took 5 days to happen. It was 22% over 5 days. And you telling me people are getting that scared off of one day of a 14% correction? And then when you scale out to Bitcoin, right? Look at this. Where is the breaker structure at on Bitcoin? All price simply did was just come back down to this major area. And then on top of that, it didn't even close below. It closed all the way back above. You go to a weekly time frame, scale out, price is still overall bullish. But that's just like the whole thing, like the whole narrative. Like it's to push fear because when they push fear, people start making impulse decisions. And it's so funny how God works. It's so funny. Um, because it's so crazy that this happened because I was reading I think it was that day. It was like Friday or the day before, or I just read it. I think it was Thursday. I was reading in Proverbs. It talks about a person who impulsively does things. It talks about don't be the person who like I forgot the exact word. It's somewhere in Proverbs. But don't be the person who just impulsively does things. Like you do things without even thinking. Those people are like unstable in their ways. They make irrational decisions. They just make decisions based off of their like just whatever because the Bible says the heart does deceive you. The heart can deceive you, and people like so many irrational decisions. I'm looking at Friday, like Trump said whatever he said, and everybody's going crazy. It's like it's I know this is how I know that we are in those end times, and this is how I know when that like when it's really time to show, like when it's really about to like things are really hitting the fan. My dad even called me. That's how I knew that it's like, oh yeah, yep, yep, it's that time. Yep, because like my dad like he doesn't really trade like all like he's getting into trading. Like I remember I think I told you guys the testimony. Now he's trying to learn how to trade and get into trading and all of that type of stuff. My dad called me yesterday. He was like, "Yo, son, like I'm just checking up on you. Make sure you good. Did you get hit with the Bitcoin thing? Like, yo, like I see you see what happened with Bitcoin, it got hit." And I'm like, Bitcoin. Bitcoin. I don't even care nothing about no Bitcoin, man. We traded gold. But now he was just like, he was like, yeah, like with the Bitcoin, like you seen that big drop that happened in X, Y, and Z. Like he even heard about the person that took their life. So I'm like, oh, so like people are actually talking about it now. And once people start talking about it, that's when the control starts to happen. That's when like all of these things start to play out. So that's going to be beautiful news for the market. The market is definitely going to be a lot more volatile, especially for us who actually know how to trade and who are actually really doing this. Um, this is going to be beautiful conditions for us. So I was like, that's just confirmation to show that we definitely are in those end times and that like it's time to lock in even more. But yeah, that was just like something I was like, yo, like I looked at Bitcoin, like everybody, well, not everybody, I don't talk to people, but like I was reading articles and stuff like that, and I'm like, everybody's going crazy over Bitcoin, and bro, Bitcoin barely did anything. This is a Nas move. Like if you look at this, this would happen. This is like we see this on Nas. We've seen this on gold. But still tragic for the person and the people that did take their life, but that's what just talks about it. Don't be greedy and gain. Like the one that who's always greedy and gain, you're always trying to greedy something. Don't like seek store up your treasures in heaven and not on earth. It's never that deep. Like I don't care how much money you lose. For it's never that deep. And then on top of that, it's like you I don't know why somebody would like well, I can understand why, because people like to take your life, that means you probably bet like everything. Like let's say for example, you spent 20 years working for something and then to lose it all in just the one day, or they took out like some illegal loans. Because I'm not gonna say like regular loans, like it's still like a regular loan, like from a bank and stuff, they don't even got no money. Like they don't even got no money to pay people. So like a regular loan from the bank, like taking your life from that, it's like what's the worst that can happen? Like really, what's the worst that can happen? Like your credit gets a little bit messed up, or I don't like what's the worst that can happen? You're not gonna go to jail. Nobody's gonna come delete you. Now, if you're taking out loans from like illegal loans, meaning like illegal loans, you know what I mean? Like if you take it out like illegal loans, then yeah, people could like, yo, if you don't pay this back, we're gonna take your life. Like we're gonna take you out, like, and we're gonna like get you type stuff. Like never, ever, ever. Like it's not that deep. Store up your treasures in heaven, and not on earth. It's never that deep. Money is never that deep to take your own life, to cause like strife and to cause anger and to cause like commotion and debates and to get you out of character. Like never, ever, ever let money get you out of character. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. God says that when he gives you the power to obtain wealth, don't forget that was him that gave it to you. So God is going to give you to the power to obtain wealth, and wealth is like I always say, not just financially. I think like in these times that we are in, the biggest piece of wealth that you can have is peace. Honestly, being completely honest, like The peace and love and happiness. Like peace, honestly, is probably the best thing to have in these times right now with all this chaos. Like money, yeah, it's dope because that's the defense. Obviously, that's what we're doing. We're locking it. We're making the defense. But you can have. It says it in what chapter? What book was it? It says, "What does a man profit to gain the world but lose his spirit or lose his soul?" What is it profit? You can have all the money in the world, but if you're in such a scarcity and fearful mindset and like you don't have that peace, like is it worth it? It's better to be poor and to what is the Bible say? It says it talks about in Proverbs, it's better to be poor and what is it? Better to be poor with wisdom or something like that than to be rich and like basically sinful, like wicked. It's much better to do that. So that's why it's like take your time with it. Like take your time with the market. Stop rushing yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Love the journey, love the process. Spend more time focusing on becoming like more peaceful. Spend that more time focused on getting closer to God. Spend that time more like bettering yourself, personal development. Like as you're leveling up and as you're growing your accounts, as you're growing your skill set, your mindset, and your trading, spend that time to better yourself. Like, read your Bibles more, spend more time with yourself, journal more, like respect yourself a lot more. Like definitely respect yourself a lot more. Stop letting just anybody walk over you. Stop surrounding yourself around certain people. Understand that you are um, because just like the Bible says, God says we are peculiar people. Understand that like you're different. You're a chosen one. So if God has called you to be that, but understand that you're different. You're set apart. And don't just let like anybody treat you any type of way. Because what that would do is it just lowers how you feel about yourself. And you allow those enemies to, or you allow those like agents to be in your mind and to, cause you to think certain ways, think less of yourself when it's like you should think the most of yourself. Like you should really love and respect yourself a lot more. So that's something like while you're doing this, while you're studying and stuff like that, always like do that because you're doing something that most people aren't doing. Other people are trying to find the quick way out. They're running towards the chat GBTs and they're running towards the Sora AI, whatever that thing is. But they're running towards the AI. They're running towards the easy route. Um, so that's something to be grateful for. Everybody's running towards the easy route, like the whole AI scheme, and you see everybody's turning towards AI, and that's literally all just fallen angel technology. It just like I said, like I say before, like these AIs are just making people dumber. Like that's just the word, that's the best word to say. Like all the AIs, people that are literally relying on AIs every single day to run their life, it just makes people dumber. The reason why, because it requires less of you. You don't have to do much. Now you don't have to no longer learn stuff in X, Y, and Z. And it's to the point now in society where like people will scold you and condemn you and like cast you out if you don't use AI. Like that's just the craziest thing ever. Like if you don't use AI, people are calling you stupid. It's like, yo, you missing out on all this money that just like I told you, what does it profit a man to have to gain the world but lose his soul? And that's what's literally going on. People are making all the money. Like AI is a big business. It's a couple hundred billion. The market cap with AI is like a couple hundred billion or something like that. Somewhere around that area, hundred billion something something like that. It's supposed to be like a something trillion within the next couple of years. But it's like while everybody's doing that, yeah, they're running up their bag. They're running up their bag. They're getting their money. It's like it's common sense to anybody that wants to be lazy and slothful. Using AIs is very, very easy. Dog, you can have an AI build an entire business for you, an entire business model, an entire business structure, entire workout plan, an entire life. Literally, I've seen people like somebody even like I've seen it like actual firsthand and people like even commenting. I forgot what post I did. It was something I was talking about like God and the commandments or something like that. And somebody told me they was like, "Yo, this is the most craziest thing ever." And it shows how AIs are really gonna deceive people. And it was like he was like, "Yo, like," and that's like I really do just pray for these people that God does wake them up. But you gotta want to choose God. I was just reading that in is it James? Uh, no, that series on YouTube. I love making that series. Like I love that series. But I think it was either in Proverbs or in James 3 or 4. where it talks about like choosing God. Like you have to actually choose God. I can't force nobody to choose God. Like that's up to you. You choose him if you want to. I know I'm gonna choose him. But if you don't choose him, that's on you. But the people that like actually choose God, the blessings that you get from it. But if but back to the conversation. He was like, yo, this is the craziest thing. And I'm telling you, these AIs are making people think that they're getting like prophecies and revelations and signs from God, when in reality, those are not signs from God. Ain't no re and no, God is not with no AIs. Trust to believe God's not working through AIs. The enemy, that's all fallen angel technology. Just like because the Bible says it'll be in the end times. It's going to be like in the days of Noah. If you guys like are really getting into the Bible and really understanding it, I would recommend you read the book of Enoch. The book of Enoch talks about the fallen angels and what they taught. It talks about the days of Noah. It talks about what Enoch saw. It talks about what the fallen angels were doing, the giants, how the giants were, created because they were lusting, the angels, they were lusting after the women, the righteous women, and they, had sex with them, and they had the giants. And it said like it was swarming, the world was like swarming with giants. It was essentially basically more giants than it was people. That's why God destroyed the world, all of the wickedness that was going on with it. But it talked about all the angels and what were they doing. So if Jesus tells us that this is the end times, what were happening? What were they teaching in the end times? They were teaching a bunch of wickedness. They were teaching enchantments. They were teaching like about makeup. They were teaching the makeup. They were teaching about like the astrology and the stars and like these are what the fallen angels. They were teaching all of this stuff back then. And what's going on now in today's ages? You got AIs are teaching people. The fallen angel technology, these AIs are teaching people. And the guy said that, yo, I was having this conversation like, yo, I just know this is a sign from God or something like that. Yo, this is so crazy because I was just having this conversation with ChatGPT, and I kid you not, he literally screenshotted the entire conversation. It was a full-on back and forth conversation with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was responding to him as if, and I seen it, and I'm like, yo, this is a response that essentially like something that I would essentially say. Like in a righteous way, you know how like somebody say something in like conversation, like you respond to them with like scriptures and stuff, like how I talk, like I respond with scriptures and that perspectives and stuff like that. ChatGPT was talking to him like that. I was like, yo, when I read that, I said, yo. I said, yeah, God, we are definitely in those end times. Like it was like and it wasn't just like, hey, ChatGPT, how you doing? It was like literal the responses. Man, if I can find it, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Go to I mean, hey, it can happen. It can happen. It can happen. This could be that higher low that I was talking about when price comes up, creates that higher low, and then it pushes up. It can happen. We'll see. We'll see. It can happen. I think the 30-minute probably closes like a doji, right? Yeah, it can happen. Let me see if I can find this real quick though, so I can read it to you guys to like show you guys what I mean. Let me put this up here. I forgot which post it was. I think I remember. Give me 1 second. No, price didn't hit that alert. I'm gonna keep that alert right there. Let me see if I can find it. I'll read it to you guys. I know it was definitely back further. Was it this one? Let me see. Let me see something. That's not it. I'll tell you when I find it because I gotta read that again. I was like, yo, you can't be serious. Let's see. might be this one. Is it this one? Let me see. Oh wow, here it is right here. Uh, let me see. Let me see something real quick. Uh, oh, okay, I remember. Okay. Yo, this is crazy. I'm reading it now. Wow. Yo, listen, when I show you this, I'm about to let me stop sharing my screen and let's go to this. When I show you like we're gonna read this and I'm gonna show you guys like, hey, it's here. Hey, it's already here, man. It's already here. Let's see. Stop share. This is crazy, man. I didn't like actually fully read it all the way now. Now that I'm reading this again, I'm like, yo, this sounds like something I would say because I remember this what it was. It was the video I made a video about stop trying to force people to go to God. Like they have to choose God. Like stop forcing people to go to God. Like you are pushing God on people so much to the point where it's like uh they don't even want to do it because they're like, yo, this is a God that like why would I want to serve this God? It's like he's like so forceful, like I have to do this. But that's what was like. I made the video. I was like, "Yo, the more and more you try to force it, like all you do is just spread the truth, spread the word, do what you're supposed to do. Let them do that. Don't try to ever force anybody to get to God. Jesus don't even force people to come to Him. You choose to follow him. That's why it's a choice. That's why God gives us the choice to either follow him or not. But this is, and they said this is the literal conversation that they had with ChatGPT. So it was like, oh, this is a sign from God because I made the video about like, are you forcing people to God or like, what are you doing? And they said the literal, they had that conversation with ChatGPT. Do you really think that's a sign from God? And look, let's read it. I'll read it out loud. That doesn't sound like a complicated mind at all. It sounds like a tender heart that aches for people to be okay, even in eternity. You're carrying the weight of not just your pain, but also this fear for their soul. I can see how that would make it so hard to step back. What you're asking, am I trying to be God or help them to God? Is such a deep and honest question. Yo, this is crazy work. The line between those two can blur from someone like you because you love fiercely and you see what's at stake. But here's the thing. It's like crazy. Like you see how they're talking like how something like I would say, right? You're not responsible for their surrender to God. You can plant seeds, you can model grace, you can even point them to him, but you can't force them to listen. And that's so crazy. Look how they're even using it. They're capitalizing the G and they're capitalizing the H in him. That is actually crazy. I'm like just realizing this that I'm seeing this now. Wow. And I wonder, that part is between them and God. Wow, this is crazy. And I wonder if part of the exhaustion you feel isn't just about them hurting you, it's about you trying to carry a weight, their soul, their growth that God never asked you to carry. What would it feel like if you prayed for them and said, God, I'm putting them back in your hands. I can't be there or whatever. And that's like the part of it. Crazy. Like this is from Chat GBT. Is it this? Sounds like exactly like something like how I would say it in the exact same way, like a human would say it. Let me share my trading view back again. Trading view. Perfect. This sounds exactly like what they would say. Like exactly like something. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Denise. That sounds exactly like something they would say. I'm like, yo, that just goes to show like the AIs, because the Bible says it as well. It's definitely in James. It's definitely in James chapter 2. Let me see something real quick. Is it in 2 or 4? I mean, not 4, 3. It might be in 3. Ah, yes, it is in 3. James chapter 3, verse 19. You believe that there is one God. You do as well. The devils also believe and tremble. So that means even the devils, even the like enemy knows that there's only one God. they know that as well. So if he knows that, he's going to come dressed as the angel of light and make it seem like all beautiful, and everything like that. But I don't know, that just came to my mind. I say, yo, that is the craziest thing ever. But it just goes to show what's going on. And that's the beautiful part about like trading. With this, we ain't got to worry about none of that. We ain't got to worry about no AI. We don't need no AI to make us no money. We don't need no robot to trade for us. We don't need none of that. All we need is our skill set. All we need is a good internet connection. You can have your phone, you can have your computer. All you need is a good broker, a broker that you like, and just a little bit of capital. You ain't need nothing crazy. In these market conditions, you do not need a crazy amount of capital. You just need to press buy and sell whenever the opportunity presents itself. Nah, like you seriously, like being honestly completely real, like you literally could have taken, like let's say you caught this entirety of the move, like just the like being real, the entirety of this move and kept on like scaling your account. Let's say you was using like the scaling strategy, right? Scaling your account, you literally could have taken a $10 account to 10,000 plus to 20,000 plus, literally off of these moves. You took a $10 account to 100, you took the 100 to 1,000. Let's say you risked 500 and you made 1,500, something like that. Now you're at 3,000. You decided to level up and risk $2,000. I'm not, you're at 3,000. You decided to risk 1,000. I'm just, these big numbers. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't say that, but like, these are just big numbers. You decide to risk 1,000 and end up making $6,000 on the trade. Now you're at $9,000 just like that, and you decided to risk $3,000 on a trade and consolidated for a little bit. Price shot up, and you made I don't know $7,000. Now you're at $16,000. Like you really could have did that. Like it's really possible to grow, and it's like the market is not done yet. Best believe we're not done. There's still a lot more ways to go, and it's not going to stop. I mean, the dollar's already at zero, but it's not going to stop. It's just not gonna stop. So just maximize off of it. Go like hey, go crazy. Go crazy. You thinking about put that money into that account? Do it. Do it. You thinking about take that big leap? That big leap could be a big, not necessarily a big trade. A big leap can also be a big leap can also be a bigger deposit. Simple as that. Take that big leap. Like you are used to putting in $100, $200, $300, be like, yo, let's put them two bands in there. Let's put $1,000 in there. Let's put 3,000. Let's go. Like I'm ready to lock in. Boom. You put that in, or let's say you're trading on funded accounts. You decide to get that bigger account. Let's say you're used to trading on 10Ks, whatever the case may be. Let's take that leap. Let's get that 100K account. Let's get that 50K account. Let's get that 200, 300K, whatever the size of the account is. Let's lock in. Let's take this leap. Like, I mean, what do you have to lose? That's literally what you just like ask yourself. Like, what do you have to lose to take the leap? What's the worst that can happen? You lose some money? Don't you lose money every single day? Don't you lose money anyway? Like in your, let's say your paycheck out of your taxes or whatever. Don't you lose money when you do anything else? Before you lose money before you even get your paycheck. Like, don't they take out X, Y, and Z dollars or whatever the case may be before you get your paycheck? Like, let's say you were making, I don't know, $2,000 and they took out $300 or something like that. Like, that's $300 before you even get the check or whatever the case may be. But shoot, you already lost 300. Why not put that 300 into the market or put that 300 towards the funded account or something like that? Like, and that's different though. Like, that is like losing money. I look at anything that, like, if you're putting anything into the market, like, call it an investment. Anything that you are putting towards your goals and to become better and to better yourself, that's one very simple way to understand what to buy and what to not buy, what to not buy and what not to buy. One very simple way is put everything that you like purchase in two different categories. Is it a liability or is it a asset? So a potential investment. If it's a liability, don't get it. Like if it's something that's not really gonna better, I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm just saying, like, you guys get the point. Like to help, let's say that's something that you struggle with. Like if you like, yo, I want to put more money into it in a trading account, but I only make X, Y, and Z here. Like you want to put that $1,000 into a trading account, but let's say you only make $2,000 from your job a month, or not a month, or like a month, or 3,000, whatever the case may be for your job, and you're like, you. have, let's say, $200 left over to put into account, evaluate your purchases. What are you buying? What are you spending it on? Let's say, like, you look at, let's say, and sometimes you just got to sacrifice. Like, let's say you have subscriptions that are a total of like $200, $300 a month. Psh, There go $200, $300. You can take the subscriptions got to go. Let's say you spend $200 a month eating out. Stop eating out. Let's say you um spend $200 or an extra $300 or just a certain amount on like buying miscellaneous stuff that you don't really need, that you just impulsively bought it. Like, you bought your fifth blender when you already have four of them that you didn't even touch, or you bought your another, let's say, what, not Victoria's Secret, because I know my mom, she be getting a lot of the purses. I don't know what the purse is called. Michael Kors. You bought your 18th Michael Kors purse, and you got everything color coded, and you have not went out to a event in 18 months. What you got all them purse? What you need all what you need it for? And you spending $500 on a purse or X, Y, and Z, or let's say you are buying, I don't know. You guys get the point. You get the point. You get where I'm going though. But let's say you got all these miscellaneous stuff and those are your liabilities. Cut those out and you realize that you probably have a lot more money to invest into yourself. Like, obviously groceries and stuff. Like, if you're getting, and even with groceries, like, let's say you're spending $200 or whatever it is that you guys spend. I don't know what people spend on groceries. Because people have families, people X, Y, and Z. Some people eat more, some people eat less. Some people eat different foods and all that type of stuff like that, so your price is different. But let's just say on average, you spend $200, right? And you look at your grocery like list of what you're getting, and it's like about 100 of that is like good food, like good whole foods, some meat, some fruits, veggies. If you don't eat meat, that's cool. But some nice, good whole foods, good natty foods, right? And then like $150 of it, 100 of it is just this cookies, chips, Oreos, cereal and and garbage. Just a bunch of that. It's like, cut that out, and now you have more money to invest in yourself. It's just those small things that you can really do, but you gotta actually really sacrifice that. Because I know it's hard. Like, it's hard to, because the flesh wants to sin. The flesh wants to do that. So it's hard to give up certain of those addiction, because those are like dopamine hits. Like, when you watch Netflix and stuff like that, that is a dopamine hit. Like, you're getting entertained for that period of time, and then that next episode comes, it's another dopamine hit, another dopamine hit, another dopamine hit. And then it passes time by. Like, if you don't have anything else to do, I'm gonna just watch Netflix for 2, 3 hours. Their time pass by. Um, so these are like those foods and stuff that you get. Those are dopamine hit. Those are like sugar rushes or whatever the case may be, that you would get from them. So that's something. Sorry, I was looking outside. So that's something to always keep in mind. So that can help you. That's like a little tip. If you want to have more money to invest towards yourself, just try it. Just look at it and evaluate it. If not, if you just going crazy and you already, like the conversation that we had Thursday, if you already, somewhere in the Bahamas, somewhere with that clear water, and you just joining the call from the beach somewhere, and it's like you can't turn on your mic, because if you turn on your mic, the wind gonna be like the breeze and type of stuff like that. Like, they feeding you grapes. Hey, do you? Hey, do you? Hey, do you? Do you? Hey, I'm cheering you on. I'm happy for you. Let's see, look at Go. Go did this move. So Go played out like that. Boom, boom. It played out. Now it's just a matter of fact. It's like just a matter of what's going to happen next. Because Price can, this could be just a retracement for this push up, and then Price could create a lower high. And then continue to keep going down lower there. Or would it be beautiful? A double bottom on a bigger time frame? So let's see what happens. Price could closes its tweezer bottom here in the next 11 minutes, but still, the fact of this still closing like this, that could be clean. What could also be clean is, remember the lesson that I taught you guys in that video that I posted about, like, understanding when price is about to that counter trend is about to stop and price potentially goes bullish. That could essentially be the play here, potentially. We already seen it on the lower time frame, but seeing that on something like a 1 hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, a 4 hour time frame, it's you'll have to see it on like a much bigger scale because the candle's like it's too close. Like you see this like right here is too close. You see that it did it right here on this 4 hour time frame, but like you can see a little bit cleaner on the 1 hour because you can see price came down and look what happened. It created this lower high and it created this higher low right here, and then it took off. Like seeing it on a 4 hour, when you see that type of move on a 4 hour, more times than not, a big move is going to happen. So lock in, capitalize off of that. Those are those level up setups. Like to me, personally, I look at those type of setups as level up setups. Those are those setups where if I have equity, I'm gonna put some equity on the table behind that setup. I will take a bigger risk on those type of setups if you have equity, of course. Like that type of setup. Like even right here, you can see price came down, it came up, hot this lower high created this higher low here. Look what happened. Off to the races. See another scenario. Boom, boom, here, lower high, and you see right here, you can see it on the lower time frame, but you can see it clear as day. This is why like black charts definitely help out a ton. You're not looking at red, green, red, green. You're looking at just clear structure. High, higher low right here, and you can see took off. Like just this one initial for the next like couple of days, it took off. Same exact scenario right here. Low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low. Look what happened. Off to the races. Same scenario right here. Low, lower high, lower low. This lower high basically, and then this higher low. Boom. Off to the races. Same scenario right here. Low, lower high, higher low, off to the races. Literally rinse and repeat, same thing over. And you see the type of a moves that happen once it does this. So that's why I look at it as like those are level up setups. If it plays out, you're gonna make a much bigger profit. If it doesn't, it is what it is. But more if they happen more times than not, and you have a bigger move, not only that's not just one level up like trade, but that's a level up potential move and setup. So that means you can flow with this trade throughout the entirety of it doing that. So like this higher low, you don't just have to have one trade. Obviously, like this on a 4 hour time frame, but you go lower, there's a bunch of higher lows. Scale in, keep on flowing, moving your stop loss. That's when you can really maximize on scaling in. Those are the trades where I have 9, 10, 12 positions that I scaled in from because I've seen that setup, I've seen that higher low form, and I'm boom, I get in there. Price comes up, come down. I get in some more, it comes up, come down, get in some more, and I keep on moving my stop loss according with it. That's how I can have all those positions open at one time. So obviously that's not playing out right now in the 4 hour time frame, but if it plays out in a 1 hour time frame, that's an even like bigger, higher confluence. Right. So that's why I love that setup so much. I love seeing that setup when it's the retracements and then price comes up, it creates that lower high, or that higher low, and then boom. That's when I like to start scaling in some more and like to flow with it a little bit there. So we could see potentially that happening. Here price would have to like push up some more, but this is the low, lower high. This low right here, price could create another lower high and then come down and create that higher low. And then that could be that push up potentially up into the 4160s. That's if this setup plays out. If not, then it'll just be a retracement and price will just keep on going down for it to play out. So that's a little gem. That is something that I have been learning and something that like and as we could see it, you'll see it way more times on the lower time frame. So many more times, like right here. Low, boom, boom, lower high here, higher low, off to the races. Same thing right here. Higher high, low, lower high, higher low, off to the races. Same thing right here. Boom, 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 higher low, off to the races. So more times than not, like obviously you'll see it a lot more in the lower time frames. And the more and more you see it like that, it's a very, 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 very high probability. Same thing right here. I remember this because I think I ended up taking this trade. Yeah, I think I got it in again on Friday if I'm not mistaken. But here, low, boom, boom, low, lower high, higher low, all to the races. Boom, all this retracements, low, lower high, higher low, all to the races. This is, I mean, obviously you know the bread and butter, but this is one of those like level up setups for me that I love to see in the market that we can see potentially playing out here. So Let's see what happens here. Give me 1 second. By the way, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll read it when I get back. But give me 1 second. All right, let's get it. All right, cool. All right, bet. Go to still looking clean. Still 4 minutes left. Honestly, really not looking at too much here. I just want to wait until Jerome Powell starts speaking. So I know I'm really gonna have to wait a couple of hours to like 12:30 once he starts speaking. But really, like that 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock candle could be very clean for gold. Whether it's a bullish or bearish candle, it still could be a lot of volatility in the market because there's no news. Like we haven't had what was it? This is the go to forex.com. What should I do real quick? This is the third week, second week of the basically second week. But we haven't had NFP. We're supposed to have PPI Thursday. That's not gonna drop. Unemployment claims haven't dropped for what, 2 or 3 weeks. Now this would be like the third week where we don't have any news events. So next week, what? That's weird. Oh, what? They're saying next week on, well, it's tentative. Why would they have that? They're saying next week on Thursday. It's supposed to be NFP. And then Friday is supposed to be CPI. I guess that's if it does drop. I don't know. I don't know why it says that. That's weird. But the only biggest thing is Jerome Powell speaking today, and that's gonna be like a good volatile move. So if you guys do see some setups, if you don't know, not Trump, Powell speaks at 12:20 p.m. EST. So if you guys see a setup and the opportunity presents itself, take it. Take it. If you want to watch what he says, watch and listen to what he says. If you don't, then don't. And just read the articles of what he's going to talk about when he says like whenever, or just react to whatever the market does. Let's see something real quick. Gold holds above 14,100 as U.S.-China tensions boost haven. For safe havens, of course, federal Jerome speech more insights on the U.S. Central Bank. Meanwhile, silver rises. Gold may come under pressure. I'm telling you, bunch more confusion. Gold says new record. Reignited the trade war. That's what it was. Reignited the trade war with China threatening a fresh round of tariffs on Chinese goods and imposing export controls. In response, Beijing vowed countermeasure if Trump follows through. Day. Let's see, gold is clean. Here we go. Here we go. Look at this slight structure shift that is happening on these lower time frames as well. Look at that. Boom. What I say? It ain't fully play out on a bigger time frame, but it's playing out on a lower time frame. Look what happened. Low, lower high, low, lower high, higher low, off to the races. Low, 1 second. And this is actually even good. It's dope. It's dope that this right is right here. This is a scenario where it didn't play out. This is actually a good scenario. Well, this and that's why I said like the higher time frame, the higher confluence. Seeing this right here, you can see the consolidation, but you would be able to see it on a 1 minute. So like 1 minute, 5 minute. It's not as much weight, but it still is valid though. But right here, low, low, this right here, low, lower high, slow, lower high, this higher low right here, and then price didn't it didn't play out right here. It's cool. It wasn't as clean as like something like this or like this one right here, but it's still a on a lower, excuse me, on a lower time frame. This was the setup, it just didn't play out right here. And this is where I'm talking about. It's like it more times than not it plays out, but there are those times like this one, that one time it doesn't play it out. But if you caught the other ones that it did, you good. But tweezer bottom at an area of support. In an overall uptrend. This is technical analysis. Simple technical. Like I'm not moving the markets. It's just like it's so easy. Like it's really this easy. Low, lower, high. Structure. Three things. Okay, what is it? Is price trading bullish? Yes. Is price trading at a key area? Yes. Do I have a candlestick entry? Yes. This is a tweezer bottom. I can even go to the colors. Teaching. Red, green, blue. Tweezer bottom. Bullish candlestick variation. Off to the races. It's as simple as that. Let me see something real quick. Somebody asked me a question. Oh, it was Teresa. Let me see what you said real quick so I can respond back to it. Um, see, depending on the higher frame, that means what is it? Can you elaborate on this question? That means X is potentially going to happen, right? Hold on, let me see. When we see it on the higher time frames, that means X is potentially going to happen. What do you mean by X?
One second, let me read the question again.
You good? You good? Is that like a scenario like this may happen or something like that?
Yes, I believe so. Like in general. Hold on a second. Good morning. When you pattern. So when a pattern. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's say we see a tweezer bottom on the higher time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And no, a head and shoulders on the higher time frame.
Mm-hmm.
That means that the same thing is going to happen on the when we see a pattern on the higher time frame. That means I might have to rewrite the question. I'll get back to you.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, definitely just let me know. Because I wanted to make sure I get like a good answer for it. Let's see. Man, if this setup plays out, this would be beautiful. This would be beautiful. If gold ends up within the next 3 hours creating a tweezer, like the scenario that you was talking about, Teresa, but like creating a tweezer bottom on a 4 hour time frame, after creating a not a crazy retracement, but after creating a significant retracement, if one of these moves play out again, that'd actually be beautiful. But this is a scenario right here. Price created a tweezer bottom on a 4 hour time frame here, and as we can see, this happened on Friday, and for the next days, price went up. That's just like the beautiful. That's like a tip. It doesn't matter what time frame it is on. As well, to always keep in mind, bullish candles always hold more weight than bearish candles. It don't matter what time frame is on. Bullish candles always hold more weight than bearish candles in an overall uptrend. I had to add that part. And bearish candlesticks patterns always hold more weight than bullish patterns in a downtrend. So for example, you have a double top right here on a 4 hour time frame, and price did retrace hundreds. I mean, this was just one crazy big candle. I don't know what happened. I forgot what happened here. But this still happened. Price still retraced a significant amount. But look at the tweezer bottom that happened. Played out much more. You even had it's not a full like crazy head and shoulders, but you got it right here. A shoulder came down, head came down, shoulder. And we had a head and shoulders, and price did make a good retracement. But look what happened. That was short held because price was overall bullish, and we got this bullish engulfing at an area of support in this overall uptrend, and look at what happened. Boom, big push up, big push up. So when you see these time frames, like, and that's another goes into time frame correlation. When you see a big, like a major candlestick pattern on the lower time frames, you could understand from a technical analysis perspective, not you assuming, but from an actual technical analysis perspective, that if I seen a tweezer bottom or bullish engulfing or head and shoulders or whatever the case may be on a 4 hour time frame, more than likely, more times than not, more than because there's always that then not, but more times than not, price is going to not just go bullish for a couple of hours. Price is going to be going bullish for days potentially. If you see a tweezer bottom on a daily time frame, price can potentially be going bullish for days to weeks. But on the lower time frame, you will see the retracements and all this type of stuff like that. But you know the longer term picture. Okay, okay, perfect. But you know the longer term picture is bullish. So if you see a tweezer bottom on a 4 hour daily, even if you see something on a weekly time frame, probably go crazy. But that'd be like a long, that's months worth. But most nobody's holding trades for months. Nobody's holding trades. We're holding trades for minutes, days. So whichever time frame that you're trading on. If you're trading on like that whatever time frame you use, I use them all. But I don't like hold trades for months. Absolutely, that's ridiculous. I hold trades for days, but some may be minutes, some be hours. But whatever type of trades that you like to take, if you like to take those shorter term trades, apply what I'm saying on the smaller time frames. Like if you're using the 1 hour time frame, like if the 1 hour time frame is your 4 hour time frame, basically, the 1 hour time frame is your main time frame. Like for me, my main time frame is the 4 hour time frame. Um, I don't really need the daily too much, but the 4 hour, that's like my main structure. Well, I like look at the main structure on the 4 hour time frame. That's for me. Yours may be the 1 hour or 30 minute, and if that's the case, and if you see that a tweezer bottom on a 1 hour, you know that price could potentially be heading in that direction for the rest of that day or for the next day or some change. The 4 hour bigger, the longer move that could potentially happen. Something to always keep in mind when it comes to that aspect of things. If you're somebody who likes to take those quick trades, if the 15 minute is your main one, a tweezer bottom on a 15 minute price could potentially go in that direction for the next hour. So within that hour, you can find opportunities. Let's say you're on the like, let's say you're holding trades for just an hour. You're trying to just like scalp, right? And the hour is your main one, and you see that tweezer bottom on an hour. When you're on your 5 minute, even 1 minute time frames, you can catch those higher lows for the next hour before it gets to that area, and then you can get out. Because when you see it on a 5 minute, always remember if it's on a 5 minute, it doesn't hold its weight. Price can get to that like area, so you can be looking at a setup where you have this resistance right here. I'm sitting here trying to draw it out with my hands like I'm not right here in front of the charts. But you have this setup right here. And let's say you see that move down here at your area of support, let's say somewhere down here, right? And this is the main area of resistance, but this is your minor area of TP right here, your minor area of resistance. And you see that like towards the bottom of that 1 hour, and you scale down to your 1 minute, 5 minute time frames, you can probably catch a bunch of setups here, boom, 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 all the way up to here. And then you get out and take your profits. And you got to understand that this is the type of setup that you were looking to take. You can't get here and assume and expect price to get all the way up to here because what could happen is that for that tweezer bottom on that 15 minute, for that 1 hour, for that time period, this is what happened. But then price comes all the way back down here and comes down and creates a double bottom, and you would have gave back all of that profit. If you were looking at this type of move, let's say you had your tighter stop losses, like those are the type of trade, because obviously you wouldn't be scalping with a stop loss way below there. You're gonna have your tighter stop loss. So you're gonna have your stop loss, let's say right here, and you're constantly moving it with this structure, boom, 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 boom. And now you can take all of that profit, and if you get stopped out, do the same thing again here, versus somebody who would get in here with a bigger stop loss with the longer term goal of if price does create that higher low, cool, I'll just keep on scaling in. I'm not looking to scale in on a 1 minute time frames. I'm looking to scale in on higher time frames. So you're looking for this bigger move up here. So that's something to always keep in mind. What setup are you taking? What type of setup are you taking? Are you taking a quicker trade? If that is the case, you can use those 1 minute time frames, lower time frames to scale in. But if you're trying to take a much bigger type of a setup, you can't be so on those 1 minutes because you're gonna get stopped out. You're not gonna be able to scale in and flow constantly with it. If you're just always on a 1 minute time frame trying to scale in 50 times into a move, you would have got stopped out 1,000 times. Imagine like here, this is the bigger setup. Price creates this bigger long-term setup right here. And let's say we got in somewhere right here. Let's just look at it from a 1 hour perspective. Let's just look at it from this longer term perspective. You got in somewhere right here and you had your stop loss below here. And let's say the bigger move, let's just target the highs. Let's just look at it from this perspective. You cannot be on a 1 minute time frame trying to look for every single opportunity to scale in. Look at what would happen. Like if this is the longer term move, you're trying to look for a bigger setup and move your stop loss accordingly. Like every single time you see the smallest of the highest lows. Like here, okay, makes sense. All right. But here, boom, boom, higher low. Let me scale in some more higher lows. Move my stop loss right below here. Higher low, move my look, stopped out 1,000 times, but your main TP is up here. You got to look at those bigger time frame structures and let the market do what it wants to do. If, for example, you were looking at it from a lower time frame like this is exactly what I mean. This is that beautiful. This is I can show you a live example of the let's say longer. Let's say you was a shorter term on that shorter term type time frame, right? Let's say you seen, for example, something here on this lower time frame. You get your candlestick, and let's say this is your target up into here. Let's see if we actually see it on a 1 minute time frame. It didn't really create like too much crazy higher lows, but still, neither here nor there. You would have got in here, seen your double bottom, whatever the case may be, got in here. Like, let's say you were just looking to target this. Me, I'm in this trade. I'm looking for a longer term perspective. So these right here, no, it's not really nothing to me. I'm looking for a bigger move, which is playing out here, which is beautiful, right? But let's say you got in. You seen something right here. You wouldn't have got in here because this wouldn't have made sense. This wasn't a valid entry. Like actually use the actual strategy that you have. Like I'm looking at it from my actual strategy. But let's say I got in off of this double bottom, boom, and let's say I'm going to have like a tighter stop loss. Let's say I'm gonna just look to target this resistance range right here. This was the stop loss. Let's say a little bit below here. Price comes up, comes down, gives me that other bullish engulfing. So I'm scaling again here. When we get in here in this area now, like basically the stop loss is essentially the same, or I can move it up a little bit more. Tighter stop loss. Let's say price comes down here. Boom, boom, gives me another setup right here. I can get in again. Let's say once price gives me a higher low, either off of this, because this is a kind of close to a tweezer bottom. We can call it a little bit. Get in again here. I'm gonna move my stop loss right here to this point. And let's say we've seen another setup right here where we got a breakout setup. We got this breakout setup right here, and then now I'm gonna move all of my stop losses. Let's say we move it to right here at this point in time, and we look to target up into this area. Like how many times I just scaled into this position off of this one move, and then here I get out the trade, and I take because I'm good. I'm good with this. I got my profit on this. Like you done scaled into this position. Let me take this big one off. You done scaled into this position one, two, what is this? Three, like four times. Basically, like what? One, two, three, four. Yeah, like four times in a matter of what is this? From 9:05 all the way up until price got here into 15 minutes. So for 10 minutes, this is what you were doing for 10 minutes. In, I mean not in out, but in, boom, higher low. You're on a 1 minute time frame, boom, 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 here, and you get your move and you get out. And let's say you want to do the same thing, like on that lower time frame, you could have did it like there. That's literally how you apply it on the smaller time frame where you're trying to take quicker trades. Like and that's why I say it's really like no excuses. Like you adjust to what your current life is. Have the idea of what everybody wants to get to the point where we can trade at any point in time and we can get into one setup, and that setup is a $20,000 setup if we were able to trade for 50. Everybody wants to be that. I only traded for 15 minutes and I made 20,000, 30,000. I don't care about the markets for the rest of the day. I'm getting on a first class flight in Emirates. I think that's how you pronounce it. Emirates. And I'm gonna just that's my vacation. Traveling to Dubai is one vacation on the plane. You want to, that's okay. You can do that, right? We all want to get to that point, but if your current situation only allows you, let's say, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, wherever the case may be, you got to work around that. And there's ways to work around that. If you want to be able to, you can either do it one or either way. When you're actually here for that 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hour, and you're getting in, getting in, getting in, or when you're sitting here and waiting and you have that setup and you just give your stop loss more breathing room and then you let the market play out. And then by the time you come back, like off of work or whatever the case may be, the move would have played out or stopped you out. Either way, there's always a way. But there's a will, there's a way. There's always a way. You just got to determine what works best for you. That's why I always just tell you guys to understand what your current situation is. What can you do? Like, don't try to force somebody else's trading style or life. That's why I always tell you guys to do your thing. I'm just here to give you a foundation, to give my knowledge and wisdom, but it's up to every last one of you to do it yourselves. You turn the strategy, you turn OMC into whatever it is you want to call it, into anything, whatever works best for you, that you do it that way. Or if you already have your own thing, just keep on doing it that way. Like you don't have to listen to a lot of outside noises and a lot of outside factors. Do your own thing and what works best for you. Somebody has a wife, kids, family, and all that, and the way that they trade, and they like to instill that you have to trade that way, and they can make you feel like you have to trade that way. It's easy for somebody to say, it's very, very easy for let's say a swing trader, somebody who swings, who's holding it for weeks or days or X, Y, and Z. It's easy for somebody that's making six figures off of those trades and who's having 20,000, 30,000, $40,000 positions when they're holding it. And by the time within a week span, they make $100,000. It's very easy for them to instill that and like tell people like, this is the wave, this is the move, this is how you should be trading. That won't really apply to somebody with a $100 account or a $50 account. How does that like holding trades for 3, 4 weeks or a week and some change with a $10 position or something like that to make like 20, $30 like in your current situation, does that really apply to you? No, it doesn't. You can't really do that. Not yet. Maybe eventually you can get to that point. But unless you're like you don't mind like taking I'm just saying like if you're actually trying to like grow your account, if you're intention like I want to actually grow and level this up in X, Y, and Z, holding a $10 position to make a let's say 1 to 3 to make $30 for out of let's say holding it for 3 weeks when they held it for 3 weeks, but they just made $300,000, $200,000, or $100,000. Of course, I would hold a trade. Anybody, all of us will hold a trade. You telling me I hold a trade for 2, 3 weeks and I'll make six figures? Of course, everybody would do that. But to say that yo, I'm about to hold a trade for 2, 3 weeks and make $30, no. Like just no. Like I'm not about to hold a trade for 2, 3 weeks and make $30. No, I can do what I just did like on the smaller time frames, build that account up, and then I can actually do that. That's why you have to be able to adjust. Your strategy should be able to adjust with any market conditions. It should be able to adjust with situations. What if God blesses you to be in an opportunity where now you have all the time in the world and you're forced to be on the charts? Not just forced to be on the charts, but now you're in a situation where you got to figure it out. And like now you are locked in. This is your opportunity. This is your time. You can catch these moves, all of these setups like that, and you can really grow that account. You got to be able to know how to do that. So that's why it's like understand your situation, be happy, be grateful for where you're currently at, and then within the midst of it, adjust to where you're currently at. Because the longer that you try to like act like or just try to just do something where it's like you're not in that position to do it, you're just gonna prolong your blessings. Just like what happened with the journey out of Egypt. It was supposed to be 11 days. 11 days and it took like 30 something years or something like this because of the people's disobedience. And that's what God does with us as well. We all, every last one of us has fallen victim to that. Every last one of us. We've all fallen victim to that. We could have had certain blessings, but we didn't want to listen, and those blessings got prolonged. That doesn't mean they're not going to happen. They just got prolonged. So. That is the tip. That is the gem of the day. That is the seer talk of the day. But yeah, other than that, gold is looking phenomenal, not phenomenal, phenomenal right now. I want to see what price does here. If price does give me that move on a 30-minute time frame, that'd be very, very beautiful. Like if price rejects this area right here and then comes down and we can see that higher low in that 30-minute, it doesn't have to be right here. Like that's why I really don't like having box a lot of the times because this doesn't even look that clean. I'm gonna take it off because I don't really need it right now. But if price were to come down like here after making this lower high, comes down and creates that higher low, what you'll see is on that lower time frames, you're gonna see a like on a 1 minute or 5 minute, you're gonna see a higher low there. And if I see that again on that higher low, I'm getting in again, and then I'm going to look to flow with the market. First looking to target these highs up here. This is my first TP. My other TPs already got hit, like the ones that was down there, and then there was like one right here at 41.35 that got hit. But for my longer term like outlook, 41.45, 41.45, 41 between the 41.55 and 41.60 ranges up into the highs at 41.80. Obviously to 4,200, like obviously every 100 pips, like 41.90, but 4,200 since that's the next bigger number. But that main bigger style TP would be up to the 42.30s and 42.40s, which in that within that 100 pip range. So that is my outlook on gold right now. That is my current positions. I will see what happens later on today when not Trump, when Powell speaks. So let me know if you guys have any questions before I hop off, and if not, I will chop it up with you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you all for pulling up as well. Let me know if you guys have any questions real quick before I hop off. Mm-mm. This was a beautiful rejection too, man. This was a beautiful rejection. I'm telling you guys, another tip. Focus on market structure. Stop looking at your profit. Because best believe when price got to here, I was definitely in drawdown. Because remember I said I got into positions up here. So I was in drawdown for sure. I just didn't look at the profit. And then I looked at the profit. Oh, okay, cool. But when you're in focus on the structure, because you can get so caught up in this is the last tip that I'll say. This is something that I used to struggle with a lot, and it came from me over leveraging. This is like a testimony of what happened for me and what was my issue. It could be somebody else's issue, so this could help you. But one of my biggest issues was I used to over leverage, and me over leveraging forced me to be on lower time frames. And that used to cause me even more like stress, unnecessary stress. So I would instead of let's say for example, right? Because this trade, being in this, because I was in entries up here, so being in this drawdown, like I know what my risk was, I know what my equity was, I know what I decided to risk. So if price coming down to here, it didn't like phase me. I'm like shaking or nothing like that. But the biggest thing is like back then, if I would have had the same position right here, what I would have done was assumed this is what I would have done. I would have assumed that even if I had like this stop loss, like, oh, this would be my stop loss, and I know that this is an over leveraging position. If price comes all the way down here, I definitely over leverage. But I would assume, and I would still use those bigger lot size, but I would just assume, like, let's say I got in right here, I would just assume that price is gonna go up right from here. So I can, okay, let's say it's like, if I assume that prices are gonna go up, let's say my stop loss would have been right here. Let's say I was risking whatever the case may be whatever lot size. I'm like, oh, this will only be X, Y, and Z. So let's say for example, let's use a good number. I'm gonna use a bigger number because you probably can't be in that much drawdown with a smaller account. Depending on the lot size that you can be in drawdown. But let's say I had a $2,000 account, right? A $2,000 account. What I would do is right here, I'm like, oh, like I would want to be able to risk like $1,000 on this position, like the whole like half of the account type vibes, right? And I'm like, okay, what if I want to use a bigger lot size? Like, okay, what if I use a standard lot? Oh, if I use a standard lot with a super duper tight stop loss right here, that could be, let's say, $100 risk or something like that. $100 risk. I know with that and that's like Huh. But it's like I know that the true real stop loss would be right here at a basically like $1,000 or $1,500 loss right here. But I'm like, nah, man, price gonna go up right here. Oh, we got this double bottom right. Oh, price gonna go up. Yep, I'm gonna use that standard lot size because I know price ain't dropping. I ain't even gonna have that stop loss right there. I'm gonna visualize it. Once price get here, I'm gonna get out. I'm for sure, for sure, for sure. Because I said so. Once price get here, I'm gonna get out for sure. Price up, I'm seeing the profit. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. I'm up a crazy amount. Nah, I ain't gonna take it. I wanna see how much I'll make when price get all the way up here. I'm still holding it now. I'm bleeding. Now immediately once price gets here, I'm already 100, 200, 300, 400. I'm 500, 600, 700. Remember, I only got like $2,000 account. 700, 800. And price get to this point. And what my issue was, I was always on the 1 minute time frame. And 5 minute, I'm on the 1 minute. I'm just waiting for that one candle to turn bullish. And this is what I would have done. I would have seen this, this, this. Oh, this one candle. All right, price about to start going bullish. Nope. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, double bottom. Price about to start going bullish. Boom. Heart racing. I'm staring at candlestick profit. Candlestick profit. That's it. 1 minute. Price coming down. Oh, morning star. Price about to go bullish. Boom. Price come down. Oh, all right. Higher low. Price about to go bullish. I'm just watching my profit bleed. My entire account being destroyed. Destroyed, destroyed. And this, bro. This was always it, man. This was it for me. This was it for me. Man, this was definitely it for me. It was always that one candlestick. God is just so amazing. God used to humble me so much because it was always that one candlestick. I'm in $1,500 in drawdown, basically $1,400, and I see this one candlestick. And remember, I was so focused on candles, I forgot the part about like, yo, if price breaks below this area, I don't got to this area. I'm $1,500 in drawdown. So if price gets down here, account blown. It was one candlestick, man. I'm telling you all the time, it was that one candlestick. You know what? I'm just getting out. Forget it, man. I'm 1,500. I'm gonna just get out, man. It is what it is. I'm already sick to my stomach. I'm already sick to my stomach. Hey, I got the candle ready. You feel me? I got the candle ready. I got the candle ready. I was already running the bath water while I'm sitting there looking at the 1 minute time frame. I was running the bath. Hey, I got the candle ready. I was already sitting there running the bath water with the suds and the soap and all. I'm already running the bath water, man. I got the candles ready, right? Close the trade. I'm like, man, I'm sitting there, candles, lights off, man. None of that. No, 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 nothing. No music. Just no nothing. I'm just boom. Get out. All right, let me clear my mind. All right, man, I'm good. I come back an hour later. Whoosh, price done shot up. I used to do that so much. It's so like it's funny to me because I look back at it and it's like, yo, I would get back later. Hey, but I gotta go take another bath. I'm about to go run the water again, man. I'm about to go run the water again. Like that used to always happen to me. It was that one candlestick, man. It was that one candle. It was always the bearish candle that I was always so afraid that this next candle is gonna go bearish. And I'm like, yo, this art a bearish and go. I didn't remember what I teach you guys now. The Bible says in order to become wise, you must first become a fool. How do you think I know the longer term play now of bearish candlesticks in an uptrend don't hold as much weight as bullish candlesticks in an uptrend? Back then, I didn't know that. This is what taught me that. This is what taught me that. Because think about it. I blew how many? I think I blew like what, 20. Actually, I don't even want to say blow. I invested in 25, 30 plus accounts, and I was live accounts and I was funded accounts. I invested in all of those accounts, plus accounts, right? And that wasn't just like one, I wasn't blowing accounts in one trades. Like sometimes I was, but sometimes it took like for my issue, it was never that I could never really build up an account. It was always I used to always build up the account and start risking too much too quick and then blow all of that profit and try to make that back. The same thing with like prop firms as well. Like that was my issue back then. But that's how I learned this. And I kept on taking these big losses. I'm like, yo, what is going on? And then I started to see, wait a minute. This is an uptrend, and Price just created a bearish engulfing candlestick. Excuse me, let me scale out. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And as you can see, boom, Price would have played out and I would have came back. And this is that big move. This is the big move. This is like that move where it's like you could have got the good entry This is that level up move. I was taking level up moves in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, yo, I'm like, I was, and that's how I learned the level up part as well. That's why I learned when to take trades. It's all trial and error. Everything that I'm like teaching is what I've actually went through and what I've learned. And that's how I built the strategy to the way it is. That's why it works so well for me. That's why it's like so easy. That's why the biggest thing, the last tip is the only way for you to actually understand the strategy that you use is for you to actually put it into work. That's why I understand OMC so much. That's why it's so easy for me to flow with this strategy and taking trades. I'm having whole conversations while I'm in trades, while I'm taking trades. It's just second nature to me because it was all experience that built the strategy. It wasn't, yeah, it was the videos and learning what a candlestick is. I've learned that in my first week. It was experience that really helped me get to this point. And that's what I want to teach and show you guys. It's really experience that's going to help you get to that point where you're confident and you flow with your strategy. That's all it is, experience. You got to become a fool first. You got to take those losses. Now, you don't have to blow an account. That's one thing you do not have to do. That's I don't ever teach that. You do not have to blow an account because if you are, remember I told you guys as well, I didn't have like I was just getting right with God at that time, like when I started blowing all those accounts. So I didn't understand about patience or focusing on peace and God and all that type of stuff like that. If you have that mindset now, yes, it'd be easier for you to do it. I didn't. I had to become a fool first. So that's what it was for me. That was like the biggest thing. That's how I learned and adapt to the strategy. You guys got to do the same. Like that's the biggest thing. Experience, that's your teacher. Experience, it gives you more knowledge, it gives you patience, it gives you all of that. That's why it's like you guys see I see these setups, I'm like, yo, I'm getting in. This ain't nothing. Like I've seen this 1,000 times. I'm getting in. Like right here. Look at what happened. I've seen it so many times play out. Look what happened. It played out. I've seen these setups play out so many times. I've seen the bread and butter play out so many times. So many times, more times than not. Of course, 1,000 times % I'm getting in. I've seen the ascending triangles when prices in consolidation, especially on pairs like gold, and then it just breaks out to the upside. I've seen that so many times. Like I've seen these so many times, and that's how you guys are actually going to get to that point where you just come to the markets, boom, you don't hesitate. Like it's I don't hesitate whatsoever. I'm more like, boom, I'm getting in. It's just confidence. Like I don't hesitate no more. Like if I see a setup, I'm gonna take it. I'm a lot smarter with like my position. I understand where price is at. So now I'm a lot better as well. Like my risk, where is price at in this current move? If it was down here, I would use a bigger risk down here because I know this is the beginning, essentially the beginning, but it's after a significant retracement here based off of like higher confirmations and stuff like that versus me putting a big risk here would not be the same. Well, here, if I had moved my stop loss, yes. But trying to put the same like big risk that I had down here, way, let's say right here off of a breakout setup or something, no, that's doesn't make no sense to me. I gotta make sure that if I do take a loss from any position that I scale in, if I'm in profit, there should ever be, unless if I've scaled into the position, if I haven't scaled into the position fully, that's okay. I'm okay with being more and more drawdown until I scaled into the position fully. But if I'm in profit and I already scaled into the position fully, I'm not adding no other position with a lot size that's going to take away even majority of that loss. Like if I had this big push up here and I entered another trade here and I moved my stop loss here, there should be no reason. Let's say I was up, I don't know. It really just depends as well. It depends on how much equity I'm up and how much I want to risk of that profit. That's why I don't really do like the percentages and all that stuff like that. It just depends on how much I'm up. If I'm up, let's say, I don't know. Up a higher number. Like, I don't know. And I only want to risk a certain amount of it. I'm gonna just put that. That's what it'd be the risk. So I know that if I lose this trade, worst case scenario is I will make an equity of boom, boom, boom. So that's a little tip. But other than that, that is pretty much it for me, guys. That's a little testimony for me. Hopefully that did help you guys as well who are struggling with that, who have struggled with it. Just know that you are not alone. We've all done it. I'm just not, I'm just the one that's not like afraid to talk about it. Nobody ever wants to talk about the losses. I'm not afraid to talk about the losses, the failures, because those failures is what made me who I am today. So that's all it is. Just to be proud of that. Be understanding of that. You had to become a fool first. That's just common sense. When you learn how to walk, you had to fall a bunch of times and you got praised for that. So why don't you do that for yourself? Last thing, like that's the biggest analogy, best analogy I can give you. When we were learning how to walk, we weren't getting scolded and getting beatings because we didn't learn how to walk. Every single time that we got up and we took like the first one, two steps, everybody's crazy. They got their first step, blah 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 blah. like crazy ecstatic, right? Even if you fell immediately right afterwards, you took one step and fell. Everybody's excited and cheering. You're so happy as a baby, right? Do that for yourself. The Bible tells us to be like babes. Jesus seems like he told us to be like babes. Unless you become babes, we have to become babes because what are babes? They're always like seeking and learning. They're always like failure. Like failure is like they laugh at failure. A babe, you fall when you were falling, learning how to walk, and people were praising you stuff. You were laughing and you were getting excited. Like you boom boom boom. You fell, you walk. You see like kids and stuff. Now I see this all the time at the park because I work out at the park a lot. A lot of kids come out there and work out with me, right? A lot of kids they be doing crazy stuff and they be fall. They fall. Forget tears. They just laughing. Just laughing and having a good time. Fun. They fall, laugh, get back up, do it again. Fall, laugh, get back up, do it again. That's what we got to do. Do that with yourself. When you mess up and you make a mistake, the fact that you were able to identify that, don't grab one of these, man. Don't no, put this blow it out, man. Put that away, man. No, don't grab one of those. You don't need that. Don't grab that. Just like sit there with yourself. Okay, I made a mistake. I'm gonna get back up. A righteous man falls 7 times and he gets back up. So keep that always in mind. Stop beating yourself up so much. You guys got this. You guys are amazing. Love you all so much. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. Let's see what happens with gold. Gold is pushing up right now. Let's see what we get here. Let's see what we get here. This is one of those opportunities for me to have a bigger position like that level up type of a trade as well. So for me, honestly, being in drawdown, I was actually in drawdown of equity, of course, but it was dope to see that type of drawdown because I know if I'm willing to see that type of drawdown, I'm definitely willing to see the type of profit that could potentially come from this setup. So let's see what happens here. I may send you guys like an update. Um, Probably later on though. Once after like Jerome Powell starts speaking and like the market does, if it does get up to here, I'll probably send like a screenshot or something like that. But other than that, I love you guys so much. My dog is about to break the glass because she keeps on jumping on the glass, so I'm about to go let her in a second. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a blessed rest of your day, everyone.